Hello, this is Dr. Kurt Stahura speaking to you from Trek, which is on the international border between Canada and the United States, which is presently closed. I'd say that future tourism shorts will be talking about some of the issues surrounding that. In higher education, we tend to talk about the past and the present. We rarely project into the future. And today's ideas are going to be surrounding exactly that. Out of any difficult situation, there will always be those who adjust and who anticipate, and those who survive and dare I say thrive. And this pandemic has certainly provided some angst and some difficult times for some people, but there will be opportunity on the other side. I say on the other side, as previous shorts, I've been dressed in cold weather garb, and now I'm wearing a sweater, which suggests that the weather's clearing up, and I think that's going to change the dynamics of people's perception, and I think things are going to head in the right direction. So we discussed some of the trends unveiling themselves in a previous episode of Tourism Shorts. Back to nature, outdoors, activities among families, and traveling regionally, etc. This tourism short, we will discuss some of the opportunities that are going to unveil themselves for those with an entrepreneurial spirit, or who are so inclined to take advantage of some of the things that have unveiled themselves. And we'll talk about some of those things over the course of the next couple of minutes. What is clear is that, number one, work is different. People are working from home, and although I do feel that brick and mortar elements are coming back, probably not to the extent that they were before. And this will provide opportunities for some people to do some things from home and maybe use some time in workspaces there that they didn't have the opportunity to take advantage of before. So certainly trend number one is work is different. Number two, we have found, if we didn't know before, that technology is a useful tool. For those that are with the aforementioned entrepreneurial spirit, I think applications, apps, and skills are absolutely necessary, and those who can master these tools will be an advantage in the new landscape. Again, for those with an entrepreneurial spirit, there might be some opportunities that this new landscape allows that it didn't before. Number three, a clear trend is shared spaces. We have things called ghost kitchens in our immediate area, where restaurants are benefiting from common spaces and enabling people to perhaps sell their wares and their artistic creations in ways that they hadn't before. Incubator spaces, such as the one that we're sitting in here, innovation spaces, co-working spaces, are wonderful because they allow for people to leave their houses, but also engage in a common space where they might be interacting with some people that have innovative ideas of their own. These collisions are going to take place with people from the engineering sector and the hospitality sector and the service-oriented sector or the consulting sector, and this melding of collective thought will unveil some things that are quite creative. I'm quite sure of it. And so one of the things that came of the pandemic is the creation or growth of these common spaces, and I think we'll see innovation as a result of that. Number four, we now live in a highly customized world. Although those trends were happening before, it's certainly been reinforced. We order shirts that are for our own specifications. We order and deliveries and services that are highly customized are here to stay. I don't think we're going to retreat there. So all of the ideas that are surrounding your entrepreneurial thoughts will will likely include some element of customization, or they should. And number 5, within the hospitality and tourism and sport space, I think that we suggested before that outdoor spaces are here to stay. One of the unintended consequences of this pandemic, but probably a positive thing, is that families are spending more time together. And perhaps we realize that we miss people or take people for granted that we used to stay in regular contact with, at least in terms of interaction. I can see things like walking tours and kayak tours and bike tours and wine tours and things that engage the outdoors continuing to thrive. Perhaps brick and mortar business spaces, or at least the extent to which they were utilized before, may not be necessary because of the aforementioned apps and creativity will allow for businesses to be started in ways that weren't before and perhaps at a lower cost. Although these ideas were gathered from experts that I know from around the world outside of tourism, they certainly apply to tourism. And I was just talking about kind of general themes that have been observed, not just regionally or not just locally or not just in this country, but elsewhere. The point of this entire discussion, and I hope you've gleaned this from that, is that the traditional way of looking at things at a business has changed. There's a new paradigm. And for those who are creative and entrepreneurial, you'll have some opportunities that you didn't have before. So I wish you the very best. Be creative, be innovative, and see where those ideas take you. There's never been a better time. Thank you so much.